Mm-hmm. Okay. I have evidence. Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo. It must be connected to the dojo locker.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is... right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was... in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just... there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just... protecting you.
What?
Hmm? She was protecting me? Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue? Could that be when... which would mean that Kyoko... she killed someone for me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
What? Byakuya should know better than anyone. What does that mean? When the body was found.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Wait, Kyoko gave her room key to Byakuya, right? Which would mean...
Those words you just spoke.
Oh!
What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof
That you aren't the culprit.
No, that's wrong. If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
Stimmt.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just said and told us. An obvious lie. Ich speichere mal, das wird immer heißer hier. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie? Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us. The mastermind's trap. The mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko. But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The mastermind's trap? The victim was Mukuro, and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do? I have to decide right here. Ich kann nicht speichern. Okay, also ich glaube, dass hier die Stelle ist. Weil das ist ja schon eine sehr, sehr merkwürdige Stelle. Es gibt 3 Optionen.
There was a lie hidden within Kyoko's statement just now.
A lie?
Isn't that right, Kyoko?
You said it. The burden of proof is on you.
Oh.
So let's hear it. Where's this lie, then?
Kyoko's definitely lying, and it must be because there's some other deeper truth she wants to keep hidden. Oh.
I didn't have the key to my room because I'd given it to Byakuya. There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
Then, when we searched Kyoko's room, how else could the key have gotten there?
Someone other than me must have put it there. That's the only explanation.
Kyoko herself told me before the trial started that she had stolen something very important from the headmaster's room.
I didn't have the key to my room because I'd given it to Byakuya. There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
Then, when we searched Kyoko's room, how else could the key have gotten there?
Someone other than me must have put it there. That's the only explanation.
Kyoko herself told me before the trial started. Stimmt ja. Mein Gott, was wollen die jetzt schon wieder? Mann, ey. But that she had stolen something very important from the headmaster's room.
I didn't have the key to my room because I'd given it to Byakuya. There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
Stop.
No, that's wrong. No. Kyoko could have gotten into her room. You said so yourself, didn't you, Kyoko?
Actually, to be precise, not quite. I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What?
Monokuma's secret tool?
Kyoko stole it from the headmaster's room. It lets you get into any room in the school, which means she could have used it to get into her own room.
Then I guess that's it.
You're giving up just like that? You admit to killing...
No, I'm simply recognizing that I lost.
What are you talking about?
Like I said, this was a trap, and I wasn't able to escape it. So I lost. That's all this means.
Uh-oh.
Huh? Then, are you saying you really didn't... Kyoko, you really aren't the killer?
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
I'm sorry to say, but your time is up! All done, all finished. The class trial is all over.
Ich glaube, ich hätte das nicht machen sollen.
But that's ridiculous! Since when is there any...
It's because you were late, so the trial started late and time ran. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you! But I guess we already know who the blackened is, don't we?
Gut, dass ich gespeichert habe. Good job, you got it right. Brilliantly right. We got it right. Does that mean Kyoko really is the killer? But something strange is going on here. There's something wrong with this whole class trial. Kyoko.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
Is everyone ready? Okay then.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Strange. Keine Rekonstruktion, gar nichts. Game over. Okay, time for the punishment. Gar keine Rekonstruktion des Falles, gar nichts. Okay. Oh oh. Ob das so richtig war, ich weiß nicht. After School Lesson. Na gut, ich wusste ja von Toni, dass es 2 Sachen gibt, aber ob es das jetzt ist, weiß ich nicht. Oh mein Gott. Oh mein Gott. Oh oh. Alter Spalter. And that's how the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba came to an end. I still had to wonder whether Kyoko was actually innocent or... Regardless, the truth was lost forever. Even for me. I just stopped thinking about it. That was the end of Mukuro's class trial. And in the end, it would prove to be our last class trial. Once that case was over, there was never a single murder at Hope's Peak ever again. We had obtained peace in exchange for the lives of all the others. Hä? Oh Mann. Peace, but only inside the school. Peace, but only for us. That was the only hope we had. Hope. 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 This is hope?
No! This isn't right!
Huh?
Makoto, why are you staring off into space? Don't you have a rebuttal for Kyoko's claim?
Her claim? Oh, that's right, I have to... Moin Pimp! Do I expose Kyoko's lie or not? Dann muss es das gewesen sein. If you spend all your time... Wir sind ja jetzt wieder an der Stelle. Okay. She's not wrong. I have to think about this very carefully. What do? I have to decide right here now. Ne, diesmal lass ich sein. Ich sag mal nix. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here. Something that has to do with the mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
What?
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Oh, wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial.
Ich fass für dich gleich zusammen, was passiert ist, Pim. Keine Sorge.
And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Was zum Teufel?
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
Seit wann ist Zeit ein Problem? Ein A-Ranking, yay. Sie macht sich Medaillen.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Und ich habe, glaube ich, das optionale Ending gerade gefunden, als du eingeschaltet hast. Das muss ich auch noch dazu sagen.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Oder das hier ist noch ein optionales und es gibt 3 Endings. What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job?
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense.
Shing!
It's the same as always. I just like all the other class trials. And I'm gonna end it the same way.
Thrills, chills, kills!
It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko.
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Hätten wir echt wegrennen sollen? Hä? Oh Mann. Was macht er da? Holy shit. Hä? Oh. Das war vorhin anders. Was zum Geier? Huh?
What's this? What's going on?
Hey, what's that? Yeah, it had to be. Alter Ego.
Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it to hell, damn it all to hell. I don't believe this.
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck? What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us.
Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. The stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit, in a way that ever better special punishment. But it's still not enough. It's still not. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world.
Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words...
Now, it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
But what are you talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. Hä? The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are 2 things you need to attend this school. 1. You have to already be attending high school. 2. You have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of this ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. Huh? What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of the hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been here in before. What the heck is going on? Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again and then... So, Pimp, du hast lang genug gewartet. Zusammenfassung. Wir hatten heute das Gericht. In diesem Gericht mussten wir erstmal einiges klären, weil wir haben ja nicht wirklich sehr, sehr viele Sachen herausgefunden, außer wer eventuell die Leiche sein könnte. Am Anfang fing das Ganze sehr, sehr merkwürdig an, weil Yasuhiro meinte, die Leiche sei Kyoko. Was ja nicht sein kann. Kyoko stand im Raum. Also sehr, sehr unwahrscheinlich. Dadurch mussten wir erstmal klären, dass es Mukuru Ikusaba war. Damit fing alles an. Wir haben erstmal erklärt, dass es Kyoko nicht sein kann, weil sie trägt keine falschen Nägel, sie trägt Handschuhe etc. pp. Und außerdem hat sie keine Tätowierung auf der rechten Hand, die wahrscheinlich Mukuru von dieser Fenrir-Gruppierung hat. Danach mussten wir darauf eingehen, wann die Leiche wohl ungefähr im Garten gelandet sein muss. Weil danach wurde der Verdacht auf Makoto geschoben. Und Makoto hat ja eigentlich die ganze Nacht geschlafen, hat sich um 7:30 mit Aoi getroffen und dann sind die ja um 9 Uhr hochgegangen und haben die Leiche entdeckt. Das Problem war, die Leiche war ja völlig trocken. Das hätte eigentlich gar nicht sein können. Beziehungsweise die Leiche war ja nur oberhalb nass, weil als Genocider Jill versucht hat, ihr die Maske abzuschneiden, ist ja, hier, wie heißt es? Sag mal schnell, ist die Bombe hochgegangen und dadurch ist sie weggeflogen. So, das heißt, wir haben danach die obere Hälfte des Körpers quasi mit Wasser begossen, damit die aufhört zu brennen. Aber kurioserweise war nur die obere Hälfte wirklich nass, was zu einer sehr, sehr großen Verwirrung geführt hat. Denn eigentlich, wenn wir ehrlich sind, hätte der ganze Körper nass sein müssen, weil um 7:30 ja die Sprinkler angehen. Oder die Sprinkler gehen ja normalerweise um 7:30 an. Das heißt, wenn die Leiche schon vorher da hätte liegen müssen, oder vorher gelegen hätte, damit eben halt ein Verdacht auf Makoto hätte geschoben werden können, hätte die Leiche eigentlich komplett nass sein müssen. Dann wurde aber gab es einen Einwand. Wofür gab es denn dieses riesige Laken oder diese riesige Plane, die da eben halt lag, die ja von der einen Seite total trocken und von der anderen Seite total verschmiert war. Wahrscheinlich lag hätte man über die Leiche legen können. Die nächste Frage, die natürlich steht, ist, wo kam das Blut her? Weil zum einen das Messer, was im Körper hing, da war ja kein Blut dran und der Mantel, den die Leiche getragen hat, den hat die ja gar nicht richtig getragen. Die Ärmel, das war ja gar nicht durch die Ärmel und alles drum und dran. Dann haben wir herausgestellt, es war gar nicht das Blut des Opfers, was da lag, sondern das Blut eines Hühnchens. Es wurde ein Hühnchen dafür getötet. So. Wie das Opfer jetzt allerdings doch zu Tode kam, war die Bombe, die explodiert ist. Sie hat wahrscheinlich den Rest gegeben. Vorher war sie wahrscheinlich nur ohnmächtig. Wir wissen es nicht. Aber wir wissen, letztendlich haben wir uns dann gefragt, was war denn jetzt die Todesursache? Es hätte die Bombe sein können. Aber letztendlich haben wir in den Monokuma-Fall reingeschaut und da stand ja ein Schlag an den Hinterkopf. Oder ein etwas starker Schlag wie mit einem Metallrohr. Und ein Metallrohr haben wir nicht gefunden. Aber wenn wir mal überlegen, wir haben im Dojo Titaniumpfeile gefunden. Und ein sehr, sehr merkwürdig zusammengeknütteltes Stück Klebeband. Die Pfeile wurden anscheinend zusammengeklebt und dem Opfer an den Hinterkopf geschlagen. Sodass das eben halt die Todesursache war. Oder der tödliche Schlag. Dann stellte man sich natürlich die Frage, wo kam das her? Wie kam man überhaupt an diese Todesursache? Wie ist das passiert? Ja, beziehungsweise wer hat das versteckt? Und darauf hat Byakuya ganz stark gesagt, dass es Kyoko war. Weil wir ja in Kyokos Zimmer diesen Holzschlüssel gefunden haben, der den Schrabind geöffnet hat. Daraufhin hat Kyoko gesagt, das kann aber nicht sein. Ich habe den Schlüssel doch dir gegeben. Ich kann das gar nicht gewesen sein. So, und an der Stelle war wohl die Stelle erreicht, an der Toni gesagt hat, dass es wichtig ist, dass wir hier 2 Endings haben. Denn die Aussage von Kyoko kann ja so nicht stimmen. Sie hat ja diesen Generalschlüssel, mit dem sie überall reinkommt. Sie hat nämlich gesagt, ich hätte gar nicht in mein Zimmer reinkommen können, weil ich meinen Schlüssel nicht mehr hatte. Zu dem Zeitpunkt hatte sie aber den Generalschlüssel. Und jetzt gab es die Frage, die sich stellte, sollen wir diese Lüge auffliegen lassen oder nicht? Im ersten Moment habe ich die Lüge mal auffliegen lassen und habe den Leuten erklärt, dass sie einen Generalschlüssel hat, mit dem sie überall reinkam. Dadurch kam es zu einem sehr, sehr verstörenden Ende. Zumindest für einige vielleicht verstörend. Es war so, dass Kyoko getötet wurde, genauso wie wir es gerade gesehen haben, nur sie wurde plattgestampft. Und danach wurde ein Bild gezeigt von der Gruppe, weil es gab keine Opfer mehr. Es gab keine Class Trials mehr. Und man hat bis zum Ende seiner Tage dort gelebt. Das Bild, was man dann gesehen hat, war ein erwachsener Makoto, ein erwachsener Byakuya, ein erwachsener Yasuhiro, eine erwachsene Aoi und ein Bild von Toko, die verstorben ist anscheinend. Keine Ahnung wie. Aber es gab danach eben halt Bilder von... Oder eben halt das ganz Verstörende war, dass ein Baby Yasuhiro, ein Baby Byakuya und ein Baby Makoto dabei waren. Oder ich glaube sogar 2 Baby Makotos. Ich weiß es nicht. Auf jeden Fall war das sehr, sehr merkwürdig. Und dann hast du dazu geschaltet, als wir gesagt haben, nein, wir sagen nichts zu der Lüge. Und hast jetzt mitgekriegt, wie es eigentlich passiert ist. Also jetzt bist du auf dem Stand, wo wir jetzt alle sind. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again. And then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare. No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast, dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. No, not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what happened. An alter ego saved me. And he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. Wir haben so einiges, was wir uns angucken können. This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down with me. That's a rocket and a tank. I'd better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. Is that an airplane? How'd something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? Ist schon irgendwie verquer. Rattle, rattle. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't gonna be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. but that was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink, and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides, but that's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep and sleep. It looks like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. What the? A strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Hier ist was Neues dazugekommen. Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was that had tumbled down there with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells
This place smells awful. Kyoko!
indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So,
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage on your hair. She gave her head a quick sharp shake to get rid of the trash, and then faced me again.
hey,
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way towards my stomach. Phew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. Okay. But Kyoko, why'd you come rescue me?
so
To pay a debt, or no, to atone. Atone?
you...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you.
I...
Abandoned you. Don't say that, you didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to the same for you.
However,
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive. Why did you have to survive?
it's true.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive
In other words,
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
indeed.
That's right, at least I did. Once. Once?
I...
Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot? But that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. Amnesia? Then, is it really true? You lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us soon as we arrived at this school? The first thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted when I woke up, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back of it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey,
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
indeed.
I don't think I'm positive that it was. I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However,
And it could also mean somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself though this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
why is that?
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind, one of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However,
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone you were least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but... I see. Your intuition was right though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I
I understand.
understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Gah! It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
listen.
Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now I still trust you, you know? It's just I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, but... So I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just your personality. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. Alter, hatte ich recht am Anfang? The ultimate detective?
correct.
And the reason I came to Havoc Peak Academy war ja ziemlich offensichtlich, aber hey. There was someone I had to find here in school. You had to find someone? Who?
So,
Well, it was the headmaster of Havoc Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What?
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad. Is Hope's Peak's headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way. Huh? No matter what it takes, I'll find the headmaster.
no matter what?
No matter what the cost.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on?
I
My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now. Of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However,
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear, so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then what did you see in there?
so,
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
it's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map.
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. And I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues. So I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So I went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However,
But once I got there, I noticed the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. Tony's einkaufen. So what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
so...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. And I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. It sounds like it must be important. Wieder eine kurze Zusammenfassung der Dinge, die Kyoko uns gerade sagt. Also, Kyoko hat gerade erstmal sich ein bisschen indirekt bei uns entschuldigt dafür, dass sie uns quasi zurückgelassen hat. Dadurch, dass sie eben halt... sie wusste, dass wir von dieser Tatsache wussten. Dass sie eben halt diesen Generalschlüssel hat. Wir haben nichts gesagt, dafür ist sie uns dankbar. Aber sie hat sich dafür indirekt entschuldigt, dass sie nichts gesagt hat, um uns zu schützen. Letztendlich ist sie froh, dass wir leben, dass uns nichts passiert ist und das Alter Ego uns ja eben halt auch gerettet hat, das wissen wir ja. Aber es gibt eben halt einen sehr, sehr wichtigen Grund, warum sie überhaupt dort ist an der Schule. Sie hat festgestellt, dass damals, ganz am Anfang, als sie in die Schule gekommen ist, so wie jeder andere auch, eben halt, ja, quasi ohnmächtig wurde und sich dann in einem anderen Raum wiedergefunden hat. Als sie allerdings sich eben halt wieder wach wurde, hatte sie so ein kleines gespaltenes Gefühl, als würde irgendwas fehlen. Sie wusste nicht mehr, wer sie ist oder warum sie dort ist und was ihre besondere Fähigkeit ist. Das hat sie komplett verloren. Letztendlich hat sie sich aber daran erinnert, was ihre besondere Fähigkeit ist, weil sie ist die ultimative Detektivin und hat uns auch noch offenbart, dass ihr Vater der Schulleiter war. Sie wurden sehr früh getrennt und sie hat irgendwie mitbekommen, oder sie hat es dann mitbekommen, dass ihr Vater der Schulleiter ist und sie wollte diesen konfrontieren. Danach hat sie eben halt gesagt, sie muss unbedingt herausfinden, wo der sein könnte und hat mit diesem Schlüssel eben halt die zweite Etage der Schlafgemächer untersucht. Aus welchem Grund hat sie das gemacht? Sie hat gehofft, dass sie eventuell was findet, weil sie im Raum des Schulleiters eine Karte gefunden hat des ganzen Gebäudes. Und dort war eben halt noch eine Etage über den Schlafgemächern aufgemacht. Und das Interessante ist, dort gibt es keine Überwachungskameras, was zu dem Gedanken führen kann, dass eben halt dort vielleicht ein geheimer Raum für den Hausmeister ist oder für den Schulleiter ist, dass der sich dort zurückziehen kann. Und jetzt sind wir genau an dieser Stelle. And really ominous. Mal gucken, was sie noch zu sagen hat.
however,
Of course, I got to the second floor of the dorms. There were no cameras and no monitors, which is why I had no idea what was going on. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusawa, doesn't it?
however,
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her?
anyway,
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusawa was to get me killed. Get you killed?
indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
hey,
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. It could have been I could have become the victim?
indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean during the night?
I
can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway,
Which is exactly what happened to you. Or what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell and I saw a white shadow across the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room. Room.
correct.
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. Ja, ich habe ja auch irgendwo gedacht. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the masked assailant was, they ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder... WB, Toni. And their murder was disguised and the dojo key wound up in my room. Toni, mal eine kleine Frage. War die Stelle, die du meinst, dass ich das Geheimnis von Kyoko verrate mit dem Schlüssel? Alles klar, weil die habe ich auch gezeigt. Ich habe mir nämlich gedacht, dass das die Stelle ist. Weil die irgendwie merkwürdig war. Es war so komisch, dass man auf einmal nichts Fallbezogenes beantworten musste, sondern eher eine Lüge aufdecken muss von jemandem, der bisher noch nie gelogen hat oder bis jetzt noch nie irgendwie sowas gemacht hat. Deswegen bin ich da so ein bisschen drauf gekommen und habe mir gedacht, okay, ich versuch's mal erst und deck die Lüge auf und habe dann dieses verstörende Bild gesehen. Ich habe dieses verstörende Bild gesehen, ja. Es war sehr verstörend. Das war schon sehr, sehr verstörend, dieses Bild. And the murder was disguised and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. Das schöne Bad Ending, genau. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind, right? Was ich allerdings sagen muss, das wusstest du wahrscheinlich auch nicht. Ich musste gar keinen zweiten Speicherstand machen. Ich konnte sofort, nachdem das gezeigt wurde, wieder an der Stelle einsetzen, wo ich eben halt sagen konnte, let it go. Also lass mal das Geheimnis nicht aufliegen.
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Und was noch dazu kommt, ich habe bisher zusammengefasst ein bisschen, weil du warst ja nicht da, bis zu der Aussage, dass Kyoko auf die 2. Etage des der Schlafgemächer gegangen ist. Und ich habe sogar beschrieben, das Bild in der Zusammenfassung. Für den Pimp, weil der Pimp ja ein bisschen später kam. Ich habe bis jetzt zusammengefasst, bis da, wo sie auf die Gemächer oder auf die 2. Etage des Schlafzimmers gegangen ist und festgestellt hat, dass es dort keine Kameras gab. Bis da habe ich gerade zusammengefasst. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does that all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair, and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not.
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about
That's right.
what happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy, whoever is responsible for that. They're the ultimate despair?
It seems...
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they are,
Indeed.
make no mistake, they are the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Chapter 5. Pain of a junk food junkie. The end. 6 surviving students. To be continued. Oh yeah, dude. You received the Dream Island Rocket present. A Dream Island Rocket, okay. Speichern mal. Interessant, dass es kein Achievement für dieses andere Ending gab. Oder kommt das erst noch? Oder ich hab's nicht gesehen. Wegen dem Bild. The Ultimate Despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. Okay. But right now?
Anyway...
Right now we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Interessante Geschichte auf jeden Fall, wie sich das jetzt alles aufgebaut hat hier. Naja, wir haben uns das alles ja schon angeguckt. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room.
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? Hey Kyoko, we can use the key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then... Yes, it opened.
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Yes. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief. Because the real fight had just begun. Chapter 6. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. Holy gefilte fish. Holy gefilte fish. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended.